What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me in person is the Freddie to my Billy. It's Casey. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Why do I gotta be the old crippled one?
I don't know. This seemed fitting. Yeah, Casey and I have been hanging out today, which is pretty cool. We went and saw Godzilla Minus One, which was a really good
It was
movie.
a good time.
So we'll talk about that for just a hot minute. I was telling Casey that it is probably my favorite movie of the year.
Now, since you've seen the Christopher Nolan movie that came out, Oppenheimer, was it a fitting sequel?
It kind of was. That should have been a back-to-back feature, 5 whole hours.
Yeah, that would have been a day. Yeah, I didn't see Oppenheimer, but yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
But
as soon as I saw the 3-hour mark, I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, no, I get that. But yeah, I loved it. Everything going around on the internet right now talks about the budget of the film being so low, which is crazy because the effects were just so good.
Yep.
So good. Whenever Godzilla uses his atomic breath, you see the beam go out, you get that brief silence and then the huge explosion. And man, Godzilla looks good. Everything was just good.
Probably looks best in the water.
Yeah.
That's what I like, because there's scenes at night, like there's a early on scene where he's like at night, and that's special effects, like, we're just being critical, not the best.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on when he's like in daytime in the water, looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Marvel movies right now and then you compare it to this, it's like, what are you guys doing?
I know. No, I was telling you on the drive back, no studio has any excuses after seeing this movie. Yeah. I also really liked, obviously we're talking some spoilers here, but I really liked whenever he goes to use the atomic breath, how his spikes kind of pop out of his tail and up his back. Man, it was just so cool.
Yeah, it's a must-see movie. Like, I would say it's S tier Godzilla. It'd be in I've seen it twice now. It'd probably be my top 5.
Along with?
So Astro Monster, 54, Shin, and then probably Destroya, and then that's the minus ones in there too.
Nice. Yeah, good stuff. Anything else you want to say about it?
It's well acted too. Like, we're just talking about special effects, but no, it's outside of the little kid, which it's like she's a little kid that I don't know if she can barely speak English or not English, speak Japanese. She's not the best actress, but it's like, yeah, she's a little kid, not an actor.
She had to have been 3 years old.
Yeah, so it's like being critical of her acting skills. It's I'm not being, but
yeah.
So she's the one weak point as far as acting. Everyone else is great in it. It's just, I'm not gonna say good time because not much fun, but it's really good.
Yeah. Even if you take Godzilla out of that movie, it's still a good movie.
100%.
You just like all of the characters, and the story. The story is very driving, and I feel like in a lot of Godzilla movies, it's just like, the people parts are kind of depending on the movie. So.
Yeah. And this one, it's neat too, because like one thing that I enjoyed about it is the fact that it's like, first off, he's dealing, like, the main character is dealing with like PTSD, which is like, they do that incredibly well. Like, sometimes studios will try to do that and it doesn't work out. This one worked out. And then it's also like he's dealing with that, and then like they're talking about how the government's like not able to help them, and like just they're really critical of the Japanese government in this, and they do that in a really good way. And it's like completely different than how Shin was critical of it, and it's very much pro the Japanese people, and it just worked really well.
Also, dealing with there are several people that shame him for being a kamikaze pilot who didn't kill himself. So it's like they deal with that pretty well too, I think.
Yeah.
It's just good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Also, because it's in Japanese, the voices are so good. Some of them are just powerful voices, and I just like to hear it.
Yeah.
I wish that every movie that you go see had subtitles, if I'm honest, because that's how I watch all my TV as well. And I don't know, I liked it. Good experience all around.
Yeah,
a theater experience, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single person was annoying throughout the whole time. So, all right, now we're going to move on to our Madlib. We're in person, so it should be no less ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how filthy we get. Hopefully not too filthy. I'm going to try not to, but we'll probably. I'll probably fall back on balls pretty quick.
This one's called Free as a Bird, and we start off with a color.
Purple.
A noun.
Volcano.
An adjective.
Terrible. I should have said stinky.
I was waiting for it. Adjective. Stinky. Exclamation. Stinky. Okay, I'm gonna do it. A part of the body.
Oh man, butthole.
Can't wait to read this. Oh shit. A noun.
Pants.
Adjective.
Big.
Plural noun.
Geese.
Adjective.
Floppy.
Verb.
I'll drive.
Okay.
It's this close, same fuck.
A noun.
Dog.
Oh gosh. You'll understand that reaction pretty quick. Verb.
Murder.
A past tense verb.
Killed.
Part of the body.
Arm.
That is not at all what I thought you were going to
No.
say. And a plural noun.
Babies.
I think this is going to be a bit unhinged. All right, free as a bird. I went this way a bit. In the clear purple sky over New York City, the falcon joined a volcano of peregrine falcons who made their home on the city's terrible skyscrapers. It was a thrill to fly with these stinky birds until a hunting arrow shot through the flock. Stinky, the falcon said, as a second arrow whizzed by his butthole. With eyes like a pants, he spotted the hunter on a big rooftop, taking aim at him. With a burst of geese, the floppy avenger was able to drive the hunter before he shot another dog. The shocked man said with a murder, "I didn't know it was you, Falcon. I thought it was just a bunch of birds." The falcon killed his bow across his arm and said, "And they're also my babies."
That one's perfect.
That one worked out pretty well. Also, if you feel a big old cough coming on, just there. Cool. Looky there. Yeah. Anyway, folks, on to some trivia. We know how it goes. Casey will give a brief pause before his answer so you can see if you know it as well. So, Casey, true or false, Peter Parker's parents, Richard and Mary Parker, met while both were working for the CIA?
I'm gonna say, hold on a second. I'm gonna say true, but one caveat. I remember there was this one comic that people keep mentioning because they're gonna be in the young Aunt May is also gonna be in that movie. And there's this comic called Trouble where young Aunt May banged Peter's dad, and then she got pregnant, and then because they couldn't get like Peter's mom couldn't give birth or something like that, and then they're like, so she's technically Peter's mom.
Wow.
Yeah. So those things are, Marvel's like, this is, let's never bring this up again.
Yeah, until this movie.
Yeah. Well, that's why everyone's like, oh, this should be real. It'd be hilarious if they did this.
Well, the answer was true, so nicely done. The second one is multiple choice if you need it. The Crimson Cowl is the daughter of what business rival of Tony Stark?
I think I know it, but I can't think of their name. So if I hear the name, I'll get it for sure.
All right, we've got Obadiah Stane, Justin Hammer, Count Nefaria.
Boy, I did not know it. I'm going to say, though, Justin Hammer.
Correct.
See, you guys that are in college taking finals, just take a guess. Sometimes you get it right.
Sometimes you're like, I'm going to go with the Sam Rockwell character.
Yep.
So,
boy, what a waste.
I know, right? He was good, though.
No, he was awesome.
Good.
He was not the problem. It's the fact that he did a lot with very little.
All right. So next one, true or false? Tony Stark formed ForceWorks after the West Coast Avengers disbanded.
False.
It was true.
Oh, okay.
Did you have any ForceWorks?
No, I did not.
It didn't last very long, and I think it was in 2020 or 2021 they brought it back for a mini series that I don't think did very well.
Is that one of the ones that were in your dollar bin at the shop?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Another multiple choice. Magus, Magus, is the head of what intergalactic religious group? Is it A, the Church of the Hive Mind, B, the Universal Church of Truth, or C, the Eternal Church of Being?
Okay, I think I know this. I think it's B.
It is B.
Okay.
Because how did you know that?
Well, okay, so I always pronounce his name Magus, but that's the purple Adam Warlock. And so whenever I was reading, like, because he was in Infinity Watch a lot, maybe Infinity Watch, I don't remember. He was in one of them, and I remember seeing him in that early on, and then he popped back up in Captain Marvel book where he was in the future, and he then like made Captain Genisvel's son evil, and so then like basically Genisvel had to decide in the future to murder his son in the crib.
Oh.
And so then like it's like hilarious because like Magus is watching, and he's just like, huh, you actually did it. I didn't think that was gonna happen. well, I still won because I made you kill your son.
What an evil bastard.
Yeah.
Was that Infinity Watch? That was Warren Ellis, right?
No, Infinity Watch, it wouldn't have been Warren Ellis because Infinity Watch was like all of the it was like Pip, Adam Warlock,
and Starjammers,
maybe, because this would have been, I think, before Warren Ellis, got a Marvel. This is like right after Infinity. This is like after Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
all the stones went away, and Adam Warlock kept the Soul Stone, of course, and like Pip got, I think, the space, and I think Gamora got the time. Drax got the power, but he ate it like right off the bat. And then Moondragon got the mind, and I don't remember, like Thanos got one of them too. Like they were like, he was very like, I'm not going to tell you guys who got this one, and it was Thanos. He got reality.
Good choice.
Yeah.
All right, final card. True or false? Leader of the Hand, Junzo Muto, defeated Iron Fist and demanded that the Hand call him Iron Fist going forward.
False.
It's true.
Oh shit, I didn't read that one.
Yeah. And final question, multiple choice if you need it, you won't. Crusher Creel constantly battles Marvel's heroes as what supervillain?
Absorbing Man?
It is Absorbing Man.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think Crusher Creel is an awesome name. Like, if I ever had a kid, I'd name him Crusher, but at the same time, it's like his amount of jobs he could get are very low. It's either boxer, supervillain, or guy that works at junkyard.
For sure. Why do they call him Crusher?
It's like, well, it's weird. That was actually his name. But now he just has to work here.
All right. Moving on to the news. I'm going to be real with you guys. It is a pretty poor news week. I'm going to do mine and then we'll let Casey do his. So Mark Miller, however you pronounce his name, his imprint, Millar World, is moving all of his business from Image to Dark Horse. That was announced earlier this week. I'm pretty curious as to why. I don't know if maybe Dark Horse is just giving him a little bit better of a deal, but that doesn't really make sense because Image gives the creators that's like their thing, right?
But here's some speculation because I saw on the tweets where because I if you remember, Image was trying to do the unionization where they're like, oh, if this person's doing this stuff and we don't like it, we don't have to produce it, that type of thing. And he might be getting out early because I remember I saw on Twitter where he was actually like backing Ethan Van Sciver, like with different things. And if he's coming out that way, and then he's worried that this Image stuff somehow someday goes through, with it being unionized and stuff, and won't be able to produce stuff. So you might be better off leaving, that type of thing.
That's a good point. I also remember, I'm pretty sure that it's Mark Millar, but Grant Morrison really hates him.
Yeah.
And there's a funny line where there was an interview with Grant and they asked Grant, like, oh, you both live in Glasgow. Do you ever run into Mark? And he's like, no, but if I do, I hope I'm going really fast in a car or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, they really hate him.
Yeah, I think because I think it started I think they were like friends at first, and I think Miller might have screwed them over or something, and that might have been the reasoning. But
yeah, he's not well liked. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'll start with kind of the lesser stuff and move into the only for sure thing. But Miriam Shore is allegedly cast in the Superman Legacy film as the head of the CIA.
A groundbreaking casting.
Like the name sounds familiar. I couldn't really place her in anything, but she's been cast as the head of CIA. I'm not really too worried about the head of the CIA in a Superman movie personally, but maybe
Bedazzled.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. She was in Bedazzled. There we go.
We didn't do this.
Oh yeah, we'll do that after the news. We might get more out of that anyway.
Right.
But yeah, so that's something. And then also a rumor from an alleged leak: Deathstroke and Killer Croc will be in the upcoming Suicide Squad games as probably DLC. So that's kind of neat, I guess. Both should be fun to play as.
Yeah.
And then lastly, this is like the only for sure thing. It's because we heard it from James Gunn himself, so that's how it's for sure. Sean Gunn's going to be cast as Max Lord, and the stuff that like James was posting afterwards was stuff from the JLI comic. So we're going to be getting. It's going to have to be that one. We're not going to be getting evil, conniving Max Lord. It's going to be more kind of douchebag Max Lord,
right?
So I have a feeling we're going to be kind of getting, which you can't be too surprised, the funnier, more fun JLI than, like a serious Zack Snyder Justice League.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. if the movie, like I said before, I don't think we're going to see a lot of them in this movie, but we don't need a Dark League in this one.
We don't need a Dark League, but I just don't. I'm very much of the old school mindset of it being like, we should just start with Superman, have even an origin story, and then go from there instead of just being like, no, we're doing this brand new universe, 2 years after this last universe, and not establish and trying to establish everything at once. It should be like the starting point should be Superman proper, not just being like pick and choose how much is already done. That didn't work with the New 52. I don't think it's going to work in this movie setting either, especially when people are getting tired of superhero movies.
True. It's trickier for me because I love that JLI team so much. It's hard not to be a little bit excited to know that they're going to be in it.
Is it, I mean, with you though, is also like some trepidation since you do love them so much.
Yeah, there is. The thing is like I want all this to work so bad that until we see it and it either gives us what we want or it bombs, I want to be positive about it.
Yeah.
All right.
But why don't you guys let us know? Do you think Sean Gunn as Max Lord should be good? I mean, it can't be any worse than Max Lord in the Wonder Woman 84.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That was bad. Bad. All right. So we forgot Monday Night Football before we did the news. So, Casey, tonight we've got the Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins.
Normally, I'm a big Titan fan, but I'm going to go Dolphins. I hear they're good this year.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dolphins too. They're at a 9-3 record, and Titans are doing so hot. So.
Yeah, and hey, if you guys are listening to this and you're like, who should I bet on right now to win the Super Bowl? Dolphins. I'm calling it now.
There you go. Spicy hot take. But yeah, now we can talk about the comics that we read this week. I didn't get through very many, but I was sure to read the ones that Casey and I had Muchis of. So Casey, what did you read?
So I read the Invincible Iron Man 13, Fantastic Four 14, Alpha Flight number 5, Daredevil number 4, Shazam number 6, and The Nasty number 5.
And I read Sonic the Hedgehog 67, The Nasty 5, Daredevil 4, and Shazam 6.
All right. So I will start with the Invincible Iron Man number 13. And this is by Jerry Duggan and Juan Frigaria on the art. It's fun. Like, I feel like I'm kind of missing different pieces though, because it's like I have a feeling old what's her name? Riri was doing some stuff in like an X book or something, because it's like all the crap that like he's bringing up that she's doing in this. I'm like, boy, I don't really remember her doing that much in this last issue Iron Man. But yeah, it's a fun time. It's kind of like they're doing stuff on a ship to steal a bunch of metal and stuff, and we get to see Forge. And yeah,
I like that Juan Ferreira art.
Yeah, the art's really good in this. Also, it's like kind of funny. They get two scrolls to go take their place while they're up, in outer space. And the scrolls, like they even go like, the scrolls do a better job of being us than we are. And, because they do tabloid type things for the stuff. And yeah, it's a good time. Like, I have a feeling if you're a really big Star Fox fan, you're going to be annoyed because he's in this and he's kind of pointless, but he's also, like, in my opinion, kind of a pointless character, so I'm not too upset. So but yeah, if you're one of those 5 Eros fans, you might be upset. So
there's a lot more now that it's Harry Styles.
That's true. But yeah, so for me, I'm gonna go 7.5. It's a good time. That's kind of like the standard for this book is like a 7. It's nothing that's gonna like make Jake, want to read it. But at the same time, if you're an Iron Man fan, I think you'll enjoy it.
Nice. I'll do my 1. It's Sonic the Hedgehog 67. It's written by Ian Flynn with pencils by Thomas Roethlisberger. And this book is fun. So Surge and Kit show up at like the Resistance HQ, and they're like, we changed sides. We want to be good guys. And really nobody's buying it at all, but they're just going along with it. And but by the end, that one guy that had infiltrated the Diamond Cutters team lets them in that he's there undercover and that they should work together to bring down the resistance from the inside. I don't think anyone's really fallen for it, but they don't know that. And they also don't know about this guy. So that could throw a wrench into things. But anyway, art's really good. I like this book still. Honestly, it's become one of my books that I look forward to the most whenever it comes out on that week. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. I really liked it.
The cover art for the next issue looks incredible. Like the interior art's good, but like that's amazing.
Yeah, I like it a lot. That's why I'm such a psycho, and I always get the variants with it too, because I don't know. They go super hard on these covers.
It's like, you guys do know, like, no offense, that it's a Sonic book, right, guys? Okay, there we go. So next up, it's Fantastic Four issue 14. Yeah, it's the gig economy. They're talking about that in this one, and a bunch of supervillains are doing some stuff that they shouldn't. This is a chatty book, and the dialogue,
my goodness,
not near as quippy as you want it to be, because it's just like dialogue on dialogue on dialogue, and it's not that well written dialogue, in my opinion. So it was.
Are you sure Bendis didn't write it?
Oh yeah, by the way, it's written by Ryan North and Ivan Ferrelia on the art. Art's good, and it's like, it starts off pretty fun. Like, you get to see Reed fight Lady Octopus. Then Johnny fights Lady Electro, and yeah, all the different ones are fighting different.
What if Sue just crushed them?
Yeah, right. See, that's why you can't have superpowers like that, because you would just be a villain. You're like, yeah, I'm saving some people, crushing some villains, fun stuff. Made a kid cry because he saw it all. But yeah, so but then like the second half, like after that fight, and they confront the billionaire that, was responsible for it all. It's just like, oh wow, look at all of this not that interesting dialogue where we're just going to be telling you everything, but not even telling you everything. We don't even tell you who the actual guy that did all this was. So it was like kind of a letdown, but it was still fine. There was a little bit of a bait and switch. Old bunny gal, she wasn't even in it. So Preston picked up this book for nothing.
So sorry, Preston.
I just had to. But yeah, so I'm gonna go 5 out of 10. Like I said, the first half is fun, and Alex Ross went really hard in that cover, like he does on all of them. Really good. But the rest of it's kind of like, you didn't need all that. You could have cut that down by about half. All right, and then Alpha Flight number 5, and this is by Ed Bryson and Scott Godlewski, and David Cutler are doing the art, and it's a fun time. But so it's like, it's hard for me to be too upset, because like, okay, so this one character gets killed because he left where he wasn't supposed to, and then they're like, then he comes back and he gets murked, and then they're like, oh, I'm so upset. It's like, well, had you just stayed put, literally none of this would have happened. I'm not upset for him. One thing I want to know though is North Star is like, so Box made these like basically sentinels that they're fighting. North Star's flying through them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are metal. North Star is not invulnerable as far as I know.
Maybe they're made of tinfoil.
Oh, there we go. Because it's just like, he should, because like in the Exiles one time, I'm like a bull in a china shop. In the Exiles one time, Mimic had half of his speed, and he also had Colossus's skin, and they were fighting Hyperion, and so he like took off at half of North Star speed, and this speedball special went right into Hyperion, hurt him, but fucked himself all the way up, and he had to be put in like cryostasis. So it's like seeing North Star now just being like, yeah, I'm able to fly through a robot like it's nothing, was kind of silly. And then this kind of ended like how a lot of Alpha Flight related things have ended here lately, where it's just like, well, hopefully someone picks it up soon because they're now in jail.
And it's over.
That's hard. It says end. So it's, and then it says, see which Alpha Fighters return in X Force 47. So yeah, we see. I was wondering where Mariana was, and she's at, she was there at the end, and we get Langstrom not as Sasquatch. So seeing them was kind of neat. That was probably the highlight for me. But it's like, boy, I wish more people gave a shit about Alpha Flight. So yeah, I'm probably at a 8 for it though.
Well, what about series as a whole?
Probably an 8, and it's nothing writing related that's bad with it. Like it's a really solid one. It's just kind of like them going, hey, we don't know really what to do with Alpha Flight, and there's been such a large gap between Alpha Flight related things. The 1 to 10 fans that have been like religious about it don't need to know what's going on because it doesn't matter. We need to worry about new fans, and so that's basically what happened.
All right. Next up, we've got The Nasty, number 5. It's written by John Leese with art by Adam Cahoon. We get a whole lot of video stuff this issue, but what do you think of it?
So this is probably the weakest of the issues for me personally so far. I liked it okay, and I think it's going to be good collected. But since it is just really the movie up until the end, it doesn't do a lot to move the plot forward. And so it's just kind of like funny in spots, and it's well, like it's mostly just funny, and like it does feel like it's a bad movie in like the early spots, like it's written like that, and so that works. But yeah, it just didn't. It was just kind of like a slower issue that didn't do as much as I was wanting. What about you?
Yeah, same. And it's one of those things, I've said it before, I'm not super hot on the art, so it's like not even the art can carry it, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was pretty weak for me. I like some of it though. That's the parts where the colors are really coming to play. The purples and the pinks I think looks good, but yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for the next issue, but I will say this part was hilarious.
Oh yeah, when he got a stiffy.
Yeah, the guy pops the stiffy while filming, but yeah, I don't know. It was all right.
Yeah, it's like it's funny, but really like I said, it was just kind of like it was a filler issue, and that's never fun. And I think the art works for this story, like I've said before to you and stuff, but I get where you're coming from with that too, because it's still not, it's still not ideal. But yeah, so I'm probably at a 6 for this issue.
I'll go 5.5.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, next up it is Daredevil by Saladin Ahmed and Herman Peralta on the art. I really like the art in this issue. Like last time, I think I was complaining because like it switched between artists. With it being just his art, it's so gosh darn good.
It is.
And yeah, I'm really into this. Like I like that there is some crime stuff going on where like, oh, what's this? And then there's also the demon stuff. And like, yeah, it's different, but this one, like, I don't know, this is one of the best issues of this series yet, in my opinion. I don't know what you thought, but
no, I agree. This part here, so Daredevil punches Bullseye, a tooth flies out, and then Bullseye takes that tooth and flicks it to break a fire alarm, which screws up Daredevil's senses. And I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Do you think Daredevil or Bullseye's possessed too?
I don't know. I really don't. I'll be interested to see that in a future issue.
Because the demon in this one mentioned how her siblings are gonna, be the ones that take him down, and she's jealous of them and all that type of stuff. So it's like I'm curious if he's got, if he's possessed also. But this demon stuff, the first time we saw it didn't really work out. Didn't work very well for me, but this issue it worked a lot better. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. And just to piggyback off your art statement, this panel is just so good with this Medusa looking demon. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm probably I'm probably at an 8.5 for this issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say an 8 myself. All right, and then finally we've got Shazam #6. It's written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora. And like I've liked this book okay up to this point. This was like a stronger issue for me, I think.
Yeah.
Um, we get this new squadron of justice, which is just the dinosaur and then some of the siblings that are essentially being or reimagining of some Charlton characters.
Was the Bullet a Charlton character? Was he just
No,
older?
Fawcett
Okay.
character. I think it was Fawcett.
Yeah.
But either way, so yeah, we get Bullet Girl, Mr. Atom, Spy Smasher, and Eugene the Invincible. Looks awesome though. I like seeing the superpowered siblings, help out and fight these gods. The art is, I think, it was like better than normal for me.
Yeah.
Like this panel with the duck. It's the best book you've ever seen, right?
So funny.
Yeah, it is funny. But yeah, I thought it was just a killer issue. And then, we get Billy talking to Solomon and figuring out how he thinks he'll be able to balance being a hero and a kid, which I thought was really good too. Some good dialogue from Mark in this one. And then at the end, we get a surprise of what's coming next issue, and it's, spoiler alert, Black Adam, who also looks great. So
yeah,
it was just all in all a fun issue.
I'm really curious where things are going to go with this, because they mentioned when he gets the extra knowledge that it could cause a rift between the captain and Billy, which I'm really interested in seeing. Mark does a really good job though, and the art's just yowza. So yeah. I'm probably at a 9 for this. This would be my pick of the week.
Yeah, same for me. 9, pick of the week. I really liked it. All right. Here are the releases for next week. I don't know why I can't scroll to the right, but for me personally, I'm going to go with the new Spider-Gwen book. We haven't had a Spider-Gwen for a while. Wesley Dodds Sandman, and then the Sonic the Hedgehog Winter Jam. Excited for that.
I didn't know you were a Spider-Gwen fan.
I read her, who was it? Was it Robbie Thompson?
Maybe.
His series, and it was actually really good.
Nice. She looks cool as all hell. I'll give her that.
Yeah, plus this this DNA cover is just a knockout. So I'm excited. There's a lot of good stuff coming out this week though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Batman and Robin. Been loving that for the most part. Superman Lost. Like, boy, it's just been so good. And also frustratingly good. Like the stuff that's happening just makes you upset. And then Green Lantern. I like Green Lantern a whole lot.
Nice.
Well, I was just thinking, reading the old Alpha Flight, and we get a book that they come back and then, oh wow, they're in prison now. But I was just wondering, give me 4 comic books that you want to make a comeback. And you're like, oh yeah, I'd like to see them make a comeback and nothing get explained properly.
Well, the first one that comes to mind is Batgirls. Feel free to chime in at any time while I think of some others.
Yeah. I mean, my first one, just because I'm a Thunderstriker, would be Thunderstrike. But I mean, just bring it back as his kid. I don't want Eric.
Yeah. Iron Fist for me. I know he gets a series every few years, but we're about due for one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Alpha Flight. They need a ongoing, or just Puck. Just give me Puck.
I'm gonna say that Arkham City book that I really liked. I would love another volume of that.
You just want a 10-Eyed Man series.
I do. Yeah, as long as it's written by Dan Lauter.
Yeah. No, this one's by Tom King and Brian Bendis doing a co-writing.
Okay, never mind. I don't want
it. I'll go with. I think of a character that we don't see much of. Here's one. I mean, I probably wouldn't read it, but just for him for Christmas, a Hawkman coming back.
That was going to be my last one. Yeah, definitely Hawkman.
I think of Blue and Gold also.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I would read any of those mentioned. So,
dude, Blue and Gold with Dan Moore on the art.
Oh man, that would be so good.
Let us know down below what characters you want to see make a comeback.
Yeah. Okay, but that brings us to the end of this episode, folks. So we'll do our closing plugs. Please head over to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on X at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, head to our YouTube channel. We're 2 Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe.
And let us know down below, comic book characters you want to make a comeback, how handsome we are together in real life person. I don't know, just whatever you want to let us know. Be like, hey, I was also mad that the bunny lady was not in Fantastic Four. Like, what's up with that?
All right, guys, we'd love to stay in chat, but we have to go outsmart a couple of gods and get our powers back. So we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.